everyone. This is like my third or fourth try for this August wrap-up, so I hope it works this time. I'm so sorry this wrap-up is so late. My brain has just kind of been all over the place, as have I been, because, or as have I guess, I don't know, because I haven't been home much. So yeah. But anyway, I started a lot in August. And by starting a lot, I didn't finish a whole lot. One thing I did finish was The Warden by Anthony Trollope. I read 2/3 of this in August and the first third in July, and I wasn't enjoying it that much in July when I was reading it, but then after I made my July wrap-up video, I got about 20 pages further into The Warden, and I completely loved it. And the thing that made me completely love it is a chapter called Mount Olympus. And in this chapter, Trollope takes a fictional newspaper called the Jupiter, that is a newspaper in Barchester, his central town in this series, and he compares the Jupiter offices, newspaper offices, to Mount Olympus, and he compares the editor-in-chief or the owner or head honcho or whoever this man is, Tom Towers, to Zeus, and it was beautiful. And from that point on, I was like, I think I can safely say half a book into this author's work that he will be one of my favorite writers. And now that I've actually read 2 of his books, I am allowed to safely say he is one of my favorite authors, because I'm sure you guys know by now, but I have this rule where in order for an author to be on my favorite authors list, I have to have read at least 2 of their works. And this, I don't know, it almost seems like this shouldn't even count because it's in a series, but yeah, I just completely loved it. I loved the historical and literary and mythological allusions and comparisons. I loved the distinctiveness of a lot of these characters that he creates. I love the names of the characters, because he has just a great way with names. Like, you know, John Bold is named Bold, and the reason he's named Bold is because he is very bold and very principled. And I'm trying to think of another example. I think I gave a couple examples from Barchester Towers, but a couple in there is called Mr. and Mrs. Quiverful, and they are called such because they have 14 children. So, yep, that's just, I love the names. And then also, I didn't mind the politics as much as I thought I would. The Warden is very Victorian church politics centric, and the only time I actually minded was when the secondary characters were talking about the politics, because unfortunately this was one of those books where I really loved most of the main characters except for one of them, but when it comes to the secondary characters, when it was just secondary characters talking, without a main character present, I wasn't too interested, and I felt really bad about that. But yeah, so because of that, like, since that was the only time that I kind of felt a lull in the story, I would say that's why I gave it between, like, I know I don't usually give quarter reviews, but it would have to be between a 3.75 and a 4, I think. And I think I didn't say in my Barchester Towers review, I don't know at this point whether I'm posting that before or after this, but that I would give a 4.5, I think. So, yeah, I enjoyed The Warden a lot more than I was expecting, so that was wonderful, and then I absolutely loved Barchester Towers. And then the other thing that I finished, I can't actually show you because I've already put it away, but it was, a Calvin and Hobbes collection called It's a Magical World, by Bill Watterson, and I love Calvin and Hobbes so much, and I really loved reading this particular edition because this copy belonged to my grandfather, and my grandmother gave me all of his Calvin and Hobbes books when he passed away. So it kind of makes me feel like I mean, I still feel connected to him, but like it makes me have like a specific connection. And it also makes me really sad that I didn't really discover Calvin and Hobbes and how much I liked this comic until I was in college. Because then if I had known that he liked it beforehand, we could have actually bonded over that sooner. But yeah, so that was really special, and it was just a great collection in general. It had a lot of the winter comics in it, and I love those. I think those might be my favorites. So yeah, I really, really liked those. And yeah, I think everything else I just read parts of, so I'll get into all that. I started very briefly Howard's End is on the Landing by Susan Hill. A Year of Reading from Home, and I still really want to read this, but this might end up getting pushed to October if I can renew it, because I just have others that are higher on my priority list. So yeah, I only got like a chapter into this, but I was really enjoying it. I just have others that are calling my more immediate attention. So yes. And then I started Peter and Alice by John Logan, which I'm hoping to finish. I really need to finish in September. I got about halfway through, so I only have about 34 pages left, and I am loving this. It is incredibly sad and deep and like nostalgic for me because of the books Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan. And yeah, it's very deep and somewhat depressing, but parts of it are happy, and it's just thoroughly enjoyable. And it really makes me wish that I had actually gotten to see it in London, because Judi Dench played Alice Little Hargreaves, and Ben Whishaw played Peter Llewellyn Davies. And yeah, so I really wish that I had gotten to see this. And then I read some stories from Reader I Married Him, edited by Tracy Chevalier. At this point, I've read a total of 9 stories, so I think I read about 6 of these in August, because the first 3 I read the first time I checked this out back in March. So yeah, what I think I'll do with this is I will do a review of the stories I've read so far, and then I'll do a second review of the second half of the stories. I think I have 12 more to go, so a little more than half. And then in the second review, I will talk about really how I felt about the collection as a whole. But I'm afraid that if I put that all in one video, I will be talking about this for like an hour, because I have very specific thoughts on a lot of the stories that I've already read. So yeah, I am enjoying this so far. Some of these are very interesting, others are just completely wonderful. Some are interesting, but I don't really get it, or I don't really get the connection. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so enjoying this so far. And then I started As You Like It by William Shakespeare. I love this play. I haven't ever read the physical copy of it, but I have seen 2 different films of it. One from the 30s with Sir Laurence Olivier as Orlando and Elizabeth Berger as Rosaline/Ganymede. And I freaking love that film, like, a lot. And then the other one that I've seen and love equally as much for different reasons is the 2006 film that was directed by Kenneth Branagh, and it stars Bryce Dallas Howard as Rosalind/Ganymede, and David Oyelowo, I think. I never know how you pronounce his last name. I really like him as an actor, but I can't ever pronounce his name right. So if you guys know how you are supposed to pronounce his last name, please tell me down in the comments if I just completely butchered that. And then other cast members are Romola Garai, another actress whose name I can never say properly. I always want to say Gary, but it's Garai. Romola Garai, Alfred Molina, Janet McTeer, Brian Blessed, Kevin Kline. Am I missing anyone else? Probably some other people that I can't think of at the moment, but yeah, this just has a completely wonderful cast. But I haven't ever read the book in physical form, and I'm really enjoying this because it's helping me to figure out what each film had to cut and why. So yeah, I'm really loving this, and I think this is going to end up, when I'm finished, I'm pretty sure this is going to beat Twelfth Night as my favorite Shakespeare, which when I first read Twelfth Night, I didn't think that was ever going to be possible. So, yay, interesting. Loving it. And then, yeah, so I think that's it for what I read in August. I also, oh, I don't know if I mentioned, but I also read most of Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope, and I'll probably post the review of that before this is up. So yeah, I did read most of it in August. I ended up finishing it in September, but I'm counting it for August. And I did a separate review because I had too much to say about it. So if you want to know my thoughts on that, watch that review. And overall, I don't think I actually said this in the review, but overall I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved it, and I'm so excited to read Dr. Thorne, which is the next one in the series. So, yeah, I think next up is going to be my, my September reads, or what I want to read for September. So, look out for that, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.